Okay, I got a goal.
All right, we have a goal, friends. Friends at home, this is Shipbreakers, Stars Without Numbers Revised, episode 28. I have a COVID shot in one arm and a flu shot in the other arm. They both hurt. They both ache. I hope to get through 2 hours of this show tonight. KainDamael, thank you for the 50-month subscribe tonight. Look at this guy crawling across that finish line to hit the big 5-0.
Wait, you mean the player or the character?
You. I mean, yeah. I mean, how old is your character? What do you use to consider the birth of the character?
It is a good question, because when I said, listen, kid, to Yono, she said, I'm older than you. And then I found out I was a clone, so I'm just waiting to do that return right back in her face.
You're going to be waiting a really long time.
Yeah.
You have what the French call the wit of the staircase.
Luckily, I have a lot more time than she does to wait.
Yeah, so it was a pretty explosive last episode. We got introduced even further to Johnson and the Perimeter Agency. We basically spent most of the episode flipping him off and then making some deals with Carlito Sinestra in regards to allowing him to set up shop in what some would call a highly sensitive space station situation.
Yeah.
50% shot, 50% shot.
Not my favorite result, but it gets us a step in a direction.
You were also, through Carlito, given an offer to take a purchase of the number 3 ship of the Showman class line, a new series of modular cruisers, and the audience doesn't know, but I know that all 3 of you have spent, well, maybe KainDamael a little less than everybody else.
I was going to say definitely those 2 more.
Ludemann and Kain have spent most of the week figuring out how to chop these ships apart, put them up on blocks, fit them out with more weapons, throw some cargo bays in there, let them dingle dangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta see what you can see, you know.
Let's start by, doing some goals. Hey, live audience, how's our audio today, by the way? Because it's just been a mess lately. I don't know what changed. I assume there was a Windows update that has completely screwed me. Goals. Ship goals, crew goals.
We never think about crew goals.
Quentin's goal at this point is to acquire this ship. He sees a lot of value there, and
you
would
want
like to
acquire the determination,
for sure,
which you will promptly rename upon purchasing a registration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No bad luck there in renaming ships, I hear.
There's also no bad luck in killing the albatross. That's what I heard.
Van-Vee would like, with Sophie, first obtaining Sophie's permission to tell Zach what he really is.
Oh.
That good, huh?
That hard?
I feel like
It's a great goal.
she's going to be actively avoiding you.
I think I'm not going to be able to get a hold of her. And even if I did, she'll say no, which means I'm just going to have to do one of those, forgiveness over permission things that Van-Vee does.
Oh boy.
Well, MINERVA, what do you got for me?
I would like to convince the crew to use the showman to recover the Hosta.
Like the way you worded that.
You know what's really
Recover.
interesting is that the base Showman has a workshop on board, so it is capable of disassembling itself. And the crew goal? You have get Carlito as an ally. I feel like that is...
I feel like we have that now.
You can't do what you already have.
We have cashed it in.
What'd you say? I missed that part.
Crew goal.
Oh. Well, crew goal. I feel like the crew goal is to pick our actual, like, real destination after we get this ship, but I don't know how to word that in a reasonable way. What do we actually want to accomplish? So we can
after we
acquire
go
the
to Hald,
Hasta, right?
what?
Yeah.
I don't know if this isn't too much of a crew roll, but when we're in the Hald system, find your sister.
Yeah, that's definitely.
That might be already be a given.
Maybe that should be Quentin's. I'll make that Quentin's short-term goal, and I think the crew goal can be to acquire the ship. Then I think that makes sense to me.
I like it.
That's
Part of the crew, part of the ship. Until we take it apart.
Yeah. Well, Quentin might try to convince her to go home and be an authority that he currently doesn't seem to have the time to be.
So what are we saying the crew goal is?
Acquire the ship. Does that sound good?
Acquire the ship. Okay.
Good with that.
Sounds like Quentin's really double dipping on XP here, but that's a solid pick, you know?
What did you change your own to finding your sister?
I changed mine to talk to my sister, find her.
Talk to your sister, okay.
And, intention to be to try to, obviously connect, but see if she will go home and, be an authority there. Because
I assume you were speaking of Zoe Polk specifically.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Specifically. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, because there is another avenue or another sister, theoretically.
Okay. Well, we've got
You have clones too?
Yoda out here. No, there is another. That's not what Yoda sounds like. I apologize.
No. This would be more like Palpatine. You can resurrect him.
Oh, I do like Palpatine. He and Sauron are real, inspirations to me. You at the top of the episode receive a message from Bryce Cullington Dover. It includes a news clipping that has, it's like a YouTube thumbnail that says of official notice for you. And the message itself indicates that the July 18th start date for the operation is still valid, and that anytime you'd like to come back and discuss the deal, the princess has instructed himself and the royal we that they appreciate your crew's assistance in uncovering treason in their midst and are more amiable towards future discussions, with an understanding that you appear, based on course plottings, to not be immediately available at your leisure.
Well, that's a big change in attitude, but exciting news.
A thank you should be sent over towards Van-Vee. Insert the rock, you're welcome.
We have rebounded considerably from our low. That is for sure. Well, reading that message, was that sent to everybody, or
it's sent to the so everyone got it because it's sent to the crew account, the ship account. Sorry,
info at Golden Goose.
It made it to our org box.
Yeah. So I think at that time, Iono comes out and is like, "Captain, have you seen this?" And it looks like she's watching the attached video.
Oh, I didn't realize the video. Yeah, let's see.
Okay, so when you load it, it's like a news splash, Daily Bard, and then it goes by, and the VI generated image of the sector's newscaster, James Jives, goes, and in tonight's top story, release of a white paper by Dr. Kuhn Sporadicus and Dean Polk of LEDA. He, on loan from the Leiden Psionic Academy, his first published paper, indicates that we are not alone in this metaverse. There are things in drill space that can and must communicate with us. The paper goes on to prove the existence of so-called drill space aliens and things that we cannot see with our eyes but can affect our world. Could they be watching us even now? More at 11. We sit down with Dr. Sporadicus.
Quentin's eyes are huge, and he's looking at Yono like, oh holy shit.
Yono's just like, well, your agreement with him was that your name would go on the paper.
Yeah, but I mean, I absolutely believe in you, but I'll be honest, I did not realize that he had that level of respect and pull in this circle. This is
he absolutely doesn't. Just to be very clear,
yeah.
You may recall that I was the only member of his.
That's what I mean.
It's big news nonetheless, and with your name attached to it, I'm sure that it has gotten more interest than normal.
Well, that's fair.
I mean, it's the truth though, so it's not bad.
Yeah, but I mean, look, this is, old Earth people talked about aliens. People could easily put this in that category.
But they are aliens. The encounters that you've had are aliens.
That's true. That's true. I guess I'm just in many ways shocked, but elated in it, that I suppose. Oh, no, wait, maybe it's. Oh. Yeah, no, okay, this isn't too dangerous. Nobody knows I can. Okay, he's processing, right? Like trying to. The idea of the news of this getting out is, interesting to him, like fantastic, but also like, oh wait, like if people find out that he can talk to these at will.
But that is not what was included in the report.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only the device that you ejected from the ship.
I think while Quentin is like processing, Van-Vee walks by and goes, "This is cool. You're published. High five." Goes up to Yono to get a high five. This is a big one for you.
Yono is mentioned as a research assistant and postgraduate on the paper, but not listed as a doctor because she was not at the time.
Not yet. Well, still big week for you, Yono. This is awesome. And you too, Cap. You're published too.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting. And, I feel like we've been putting off our, continuing this research, a project of some kind for quite a while.
I've been working on the math problem that MINERVA has solved. I just wanted to double check her numbers.
Amazing.
So far seems legitimate. I haven't exactly figured out where on the planet it could be, but definitely the evidence strongly points to the jump gate having been maneuvered into the atmosphere under non-natural means and brought safely to the surface, I believe.
And has MINERVA ever mentioned the jump gate to anyone?
Well, Yono just mentioned it because she's been working on it for over a month.
Yeah.
Jump gate? How's the jump gate associated with the entities? What jump gate?
Sorry, Captain. For some reason, I assumed MINERVA had told you about the jump gate.
MINERVA?
Yes, Captain.
What's this? What's the possible jump gate?
I love MINERVA's attempt at playing dumb. It's impossible.
Yeah, no, I love the idea of an AI stuttering at you. Like
she was working on a project, and I wanted to respect her privacy. It wasn't explicitly asked for, but I wasn't sure when she did or didn't want to reveal what she was working on. So I decided to respect that.
I apologize, MINERVA. I thought that the crew knew about this.
No, I did not mention anything.
Back on Palamedes, there was some indication that the jump gate that was rumored to have been in system at some point in the Admede system had been unnaturally destabilized from its orbit and put down on planet. Honestly, I don't know if the math is ever going to work out to tell us where it deorbited. to. But if it naturally deorbited, we would definitely know about it. There would be quite a large impact crater. And since there's not, with the math, the speeds, with MINERVA's projections, I can only assume it's most probably down there somewhere.
Oh, that's worth paying attention to. Well, at some point. Is the jump gate directly related to the entities?
I don't know that they have any connection at all.
Okay.
And this would be significant on its own.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What would we? Oh man, there's all sorts of trouble to try to figure out how we get the rights to even look for the thing and have. Shoot, KainDamael's got the rights to the planet right now. Salvage wise, they're the ones who gave us access, but we can negotiate. I don't even know what we would do with it.
They gained the rights only because no one had contested them.
That's true. That's true. Well, shit. We gotta keep this info under wraps as much as possible.
Fabricate a claim for Leda on Palamedes, that would take quite a stretch of an imagination, but certainly it wouldn't be impossible.
Yono, you got some amazing ambitions, but I mean, shoot, it's an opportunity of this magnitude. It's worth trying something. MINERVA, you mind processing that in the background a little bit, seeing if you can come up with any plausible scenario or plan where we can
fabricate
acquire those rights in one way or another, fabricated or not,
We would need a very strong historical record showing lead and ownership of a major point of interest on Palamedes.
Yeah.
I would be willing to spend some of my time looking for something that could be used to make a legitimate claim.
Yeah, that's the best possible opportunity and outcome. If you can find one, then that's the path. And if you can't, then shoot, there's still the opportunity to negotiate with KainDamael. They don't have a ton of resources still. They don't have a ton of official partners. There's a chance we could offer to try to normalize relations for them with other folks in exchange for this. I don't know. I don't know what we could do, but yeah. No, I like that plan. MINERVA, if you can find a real way to do this, to pull this off, that's huge.
Yeah, do we still have some sort of agreement in place with, I guess, Phenomena that anything we find, they still have first right of refusal to? Is that still a thing, or did that end after we hit a certain threshold?
I don't think that's hit any sort of expiration date at this point.
Iono raises an eyebrow.
I know she's standing right there, but...
She puts a hand on, I'm going to give you this softball. She puts a hand on your shoulder and says, I know you're still young, but the contract is in effect.
Well, you know what? I say we just need to get our court chaplain and our spy master together so that we can fabricate the claim here.
All right, so we're Crusader Kings 3 then.
Well, if we do find a way, that
Leda gets a duchy claim on the entire Admead system.
Opportunity.
You declare war and are instantly defeated.
Well, not if we have a cruiser.
You use one cruiser. The exchange of light, which is headquartered is in that system, immediately cuts off your credit line.
Oh, damn. Oh, actually, speaking of, that is a line of thought that I've
rewind 10 seconds.
Reaching out to the exchange. On our way to in a real note, speaking of the exchange of light, thinking about these things, there is something Quentin would like to do in that film, but I don't want to interrupt. So this jump gate's an incredible opportunity. If we can make that happen, I think that's definitely worth doing. It's right up there with getting the Hosta rebuilt and MINERVA. I think we have a lot to talk about there.
I think,
but step one, we got a cruiser that's sitting there with a line of credit that's available to us that they're offering. And look, I can think of a lot of uses for that right now, and a few of them can solve some immediate problems right away. So I think that's our target. I think that's where we need to be prepping to get.
I also agree. We should acquire the cruiser. And as you said, we should have a conversation about what to do after we've acquired it.
Agreed. Let's have that on the ride there. For now, though.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Maybe.
So I was going to ask, can you remind me, AP, when I tried to send a message to my mom last time, it said she wasn't in system, right? She left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's sent, and ships are carrying it in every direction.
Right.
The 4 fastest ships have been sent, 1 in each direction.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So Quentin would also bring up, well, we need to shoot a response over here to the princess in regards to this message. Certainly some consultation, but from the two of y'all here, if you can come up with something that we should specifically say. But my first thoughts are something along the lines of,
you're welcome.
Stating that we are, deeply appreciative of the shifting of the winds and improvement of our current relationship. That currently, due to recent events, we've got some momentum pushing us in another direction, but we definitely intend to return and continue our conversation and negotiation in hopes that our two peoples can become partners and help to lower the temperature on a sector that seems to be boiling a bit.
Cap, I know we want to be elsewhere, but if we're already here and it's just a discussion, I mean, how long can that take? If you're just talking a few words and we're here.
I'll be honest, Van-Vee, I think this gives me some time to think.
Oh, I see. Clever.
Sometimes you got to walk away from the table.
You have to know when to hold them and when to fold them.
All right, sir. So I'll set chart us a course to the hauled system, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, feel free. And on the way out, he would start going through all of those messages from the various psionics in system that have built up, do his best to clear that log, make as much paperwork process. And he would start doing something that he has held off on for a while, which is to start to sort of process official paperwork with the Exchange of Light and other folks. I don't know if this is actually a thing, but
it is,
regarding official notices of death for, his family that he is certain are gone, regarding just the Psionic Academy trying to essentially acquire access to accounts, to whatever, official things might exist in that regard. As he's starting to sort of more officially accept that.
I will need a roll from you to prove to administrators that you are indeed, on the books and through right of what's it called when the president dies?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say right of succession, but that sounds so
CK3
of at least,
I mean, it sounds too noble for democracy.
Don't suppose I can get a boost on this with some AI research or some Van-Vee smooth talking.
I solidly feel like this is a role for you alone, unfortunately.
No, that's fair. Administer it is with my... let me pull this up. Make sure it does the right thing. Okay. And wait. Would this administer be intelligence, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
7.
Presidential succession.
That's pretty low.
It's not great.
There is a message back indicating that they believe you have a strong claim, and they expect that within the next 6 months they may be able to sort out your control of accounts. They are waiting for any official tallying from the planet and a check-in from all department heads and teaching staff to make sure that there's no one higher ranked than a guy who, you know, was on sabbatical when it happened.
Yeah. Quentin would respond back with a message, you know, completely understandable. You know, happy to submit any supplemental, you know, materials that he can provide to help expedite the process, and will happily be reaching out, you know, to as many individuals as he can to, you know,
they have indicated
make it
that
as official as possible.
They will continue, as they have been, funding supply ships to bring emergency humanitarian aid to the planet. So in that regard, you need not worry.
Oh, yeah. He responds back. He's blown away and happy to hear that they have been good fiduciary stewards and, you know, ethical in their use of the funds in the time frame.
Not your funds. They as a charity organization are raising.
Oh, I see. They are saying that they are doing this pro bono,
privately raising these funds.
Well, he is even more effusive in his thanks.
Okay.
In response, he will also try to send a sort of edited video, maybe some footage and other things from Lita and Devastation to, what is his name, at Mix Multimedia. I have this guy written down. Oh my God. There it is. Harlan Fulcrum.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah. So he's the guy who ran the Capybara, you know, show and met Quentin. That's right. And you know, essentially, it's just it's a plea for support. You know, something along the lines of, let's see, like, you know.
No, I got it already. Okay, so it's like a famous, well-known female actress with In the Arms of the Angel playing. She's walking on the familiar set of Capybara Cabana with, like, she's walking in between two capybaras and is like rubbing one on the head. And it's just like, for just 10 cents a day, you can also provide food, medical assistance, and all the supplies needed to restart the capybara lifestyle on Lita. These wonderful, noble beasts have brought all of us so much entertainment and light in our lives. Why not give back? In the arms of the angel.
Perfect.
So
nailed it.
That'll happen within 24 hours of your message arriving. They'll have that film ready to go and out in every direction with the next
directing donations to the Order of the Golden Goose and you know, trying to get supplies to Lita.
Oh no. They'll direct donations to their own personal charity managed by several wives and husbands of executives.
It's his show.
Taking about 25% off the top before it reaches.
As long as Quentin gets a seat on the board, he'll accept it.
We'll think about that one. We'll get back to you.
In the background, Van-Vee sees Hamtaro and he waves.
It's Hamtaro time!
So there's all of Quentin's moves before they hit the edge of the system.
Wow, we're just rolling through references today.
I think, Cap, if it's all right with you, you know, the halt system is 3 jumps away. We can make a double jump and a single jump to get there. I wouldn't mind doing the single jump first, just in case that's where my family's at. I don't think they could have gone too far this quickly. So, you know, if they're in the Anana system, I wouldn't mind stopping for a moment, refueling, and sending out another message, seeing if I can locate my family if they're in that system or not.
Look, Van-Vee, I have no problem with taking a hop and a skip to get where we're going. Certainly. But you know,
just feels like
we can't get there in one go. I know you're good enough to get there.
Yeah, I just don't see them going to the Aliyah system. Just not a whole lot there. So might as well try Nana. And if they're not in Nana, it probably means they're went northern-ish as opposed to southern-ish.
No, well, hey, yeah. Maybe family's important. If we can get you a little closer to them, or at least make you feel a little better, let's do what we can do. Yeah.
Right, sorry, then on to the Anana system we go.
Okay. You are trimming the course.
Yes.
You're capable of hitting drive speed 4, I think. Where are we at? You have a level 1 drive. You trim the course, brings you up to 2. Your ship captain brings you up to 3. And your
+1 for our mod.
+1 mod brings you up to 4. So yeah, so a 6-day journey, it said takes a day and a half.
Boom.
Is there anything you want to do while you're, in transit?
Yeah, that's when we'll be discussing, well, at least along this trip, we'll definitely be discussing what we do with the ship once we acquire it.
Who's present for that conversation?
Well, who's present on the ship? So we just have, Louis definitely there, because Louis is everywhere that Quentin is on the ship right now. And Yono, would she be invited? I guess. Yeah, probably. She knows we're going there for, I don't know. I guess that Quentin would leave that open and ask the two of y'all if you think she shouldn't be there, but otherwise he would generally invite her right now because it's.
Well, and she might wish to make plans around our plans.
Yeah.
I guess, I think
is there sensitive information about the Hasta that we have to worry about?
That's what I was wondering too, sir.
I don't plan to be very particularly detailed in this conversation. It's a proposal of disposition of the new ship.
And what about other aspects of, your existence and some of the things that we look? Before we go into this conversation, I'll throw out immediately that one of the things I intend to talk to you about is a certain signal that we know exists at the Naval Shipyard that I also have a very large vested interest in getting to. So unless you think that she should not be hearing that, then maybe she shouldn't come.
I don't see a reason why she shouldn't. If we do make that jump, she'd be on the ship with us anyways.
Factual. All right. Well, I guess Yona's full member.
Sir. Yeah, open invite, see if she wants to join. For all we know, she doesn't want to be here.
She gets a ping.
Okay. She shows up to wherever this meeting's happening.
Closest thing to a lounge is, right?
The dinner
where we
just passed around.
Yeah.
Which also has a hollow, projection. We've had so many meetings here. Yep.
It's our only place. Cargo hold is the other option. Well, so I'll just go ahead and say my piece, which is that I think that this cruiser is an enormous opportunity for the Order of the Golden Goose, for Lita in many ways. This is the closest thing to a mobile HQ we can have to accomplish our operation, our goals of trying to help people and provide, quick response and resources. It's incredible. And the other aspect of this to me, MINERVA, is that the Hasta is 100% a thing we have to achieve for you. I don't see anything other than doing that. I just hope we can preserve both, because for me, the Hasta is your body in many ways. It's not my ship, our ship in that way. It's you. And
sorry, what's the Hasta? That's MINERVA's original cruiser, right?
Correct. Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
You want to pull apart the premier new line of Showman class cruisers to refit the Hasta?
That's the gist of an idea that exists, but it's not my favorite.
I do.
I would point out that I'm a corporate representative of Finana, so that's all I'll say in that regard. Have you considered that it was not built for long-term human habitation?
I have. That's why I am arguing that we should keep the Defiant. Is that what we called it? What was it?
Determination.
Determination. Intact personally, and find an alternative route to restore the Hasta along with it. That's my personal goal. In this, MINERVA, I want to give you a chance to speak here, though.
Normally, I would agree. However, timing seems to dictate that the Hosta is a bit more of a priority now. If we do not restore and move that ship out of system, then Midapile will take the ship.
Midapile knows about the Hosta?
Midapile was originally going to provide some assistance in providing a spike drive.
That makes sense. They're about the only people that could.
Yeah.
And while I would still prefer to have a larger drive for myself, it's very important to control the analysis of that ship.
We have 2.5 months, roughly, to work with here, time frame wise. Is that what we're talking about?
Sorry. I'm not sure I should be here.
Well, we debated on that.
Yeah, so the thing is, if you refit the Hosta, I'm going to be there and I'm going to see it, and I think you have to know that I'm going to report what I know back to corporate.
You have obligations?
I do. I have an obligation to the company that currently employs me.
Where? Minerva, you're aware?
Looks kind of sad and like pushes her seat back and stands up.
You know, we invited you here with that understanding. I do hope you know that.
I think it would be better if I wasn't here.
And then I think I appreciate your candor and tact, perhaps.
And she leaves the room.
You know, Kat, what? I don't know if this is something we can do, but is there a way we could like buy out her contract so she's with us officially and not with Phenomena?
Yono is wealthy at this point on her own to a certain degree. I don't know exactly what her contract entails, but I do happen to also believe that there is no small amount of personal loyalty involved here.
That's fair. Just she genuinely seems sad leaving. Like
that's something she'd appreciate talking about.
I mean, I think we would agree that we want her as part of our crew, right?
Yeah, she's been here through a lot. I think there's plenty more that she could help with. Like I said, I think, there's something for you to talk with her about there. If you think you can convince her something.
Ooh, you want me to do that talk? I don't know about that, Captain.
I don't think I'm the guy.
I would like to try to find a way to make all that work. But my concern right now is it will take time for Van-Vee and I to do those transfers.
Yep.
And it will be difficult work in difficult circumstances. So it will take time.
Yeah, I agree. That's just why I think we need to have an active cruiser above us available to defend that process should we need it, which means that we need an alternative source of some usable spike drive to get that ship up and working. The other thing that I'm not sure you're thinking about, Minerva, is that we've heard a little bit more about your past.
I have learned a little bit more.
And shipping yours, to our knowledge, we don't know whose it is. We don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe you've been corrupted.
That part of the conversation with Johnson was just me and Johnson, right?
Correct.
Oh, was it? Yes. Okay, rewind. I didn't say anything.
Minerva does know.
I thought Minerva came back and said she's told us thing. Okay, but I don't remember. But
now she has the memories of being the owner of the Hosta, but she's been flatly told that according to historical log, she was not.
Yeah, I thought we were
owned by the Imago Dei.
She was an alien intelligence.
Yes.
And I thought we were also told that she wasn't Imago Dei specifically.
I don't believe that was ever intimated.
Okay. I'm just trying to rewind, make sure, because I want to make sure I'm not saying the wrong things here.
I believe most of that conversation was only directly to Minerva.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I think Johnson said to you that Minerva was not who she thought she was, and that she was an alien intelligence. And
I remember that.
You weren't in trouble.
Okay. Well, all right. Quentin does not say anything about the hosta not being hers.
This is weird, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, Quentin does say that she is maybe an alien intelligence. I don't know. Yeah, I guess rewind. Didn't bring that up.
There are things that I have learned that I need to consider and reflect on. But that ship not being protected from the major political powers means that it would become the instrument of a major shift of power.
I tend to agree with you, and we do know that there is a malevolent alien intelligence. We were told this correct. I'm not speaking of alien intelligence involved here. That, for all we know, this is a trap for exactly those political powers. You know, I don't know what's going on here. I feel like we need a lot more information. And here's the thing, Minerva, it's an Imago Day ship. There's a signal that we have from the Imago Day. There could be answers there. There could be equipment that we could use immediately to repair it. And Van-Vee can get us there and back in time.
I think it would be safer to at least do the retrofit and take the hosta to the shipyard.
Nice.
You point out this other intelligence, and if the other intelligence has been involved with me for some time, then it also knows about the hosta. And it already tried to kill you. Would you like it to try to kill you in a much larger
all I know, it led us to the hosta. Why did we go there?
I don't know, but we can do something to affect a positive change in the circumstance.
Look, I feel your urgency and I understand it. Van-Vee, your thoughts?
Well, this is a tough one, Cap. Whenever, I mean,
if you're right, and there are resources in that shipyard that could be used, then we can do that restoration and return those components to the other cruiser. If not, then we have secured it.
But it would just be sitting stuck in the same situation the hosta was. They just show up and take it. There you go, free cruiser. You know,
we don't have to leave it in the same place that the hosta was.
I feel like either way, I'm doing a bunch of work for someone to get a possible free ride.
Oh, that is very presumptive of us, Van-Vee. You know, you are the pilot and the navigator. You certainly do get us where we're going. I think you certainly deserve a say in where that is and why.
Well, I guess what's more important to you, Minerva? Keeping hosta safe or getting her up and running to be fully operational? Like, or do you even see those as two different things?
At this time, I don't see those as different things. I see one as a prerequisite for the other.
I'm afraid the hosta is fully operational.
Look, the other thing I feel we have to consider is that Midapile thinks they need an entire military operation active to deal with the pirates in system, hold them off during this process. I don't know how we get there without catching any similar kind of attention. We know MFH is in system. We know he's going to see you.
Two things for that. The first is
hire
they
him.
plan to use the attack against the pirates as a cover to recover the ship. The second is you've been in that system and discovered me without being hassled. We don't have to go to the pirate station. And we'd be in a different ship.
Good points, of course. Good points.
We'll say the advantage of this other ship is we don't have to register it with Lita. Feels like we're the only Lita ship flying around here, so everyone knows the second we show up.
Who else is going to sign off on a registration for us, Van-Vee? Look, I was about to offer you leading citizenship because I'm not entirely sure you have any right now.
I might as well be a member of the Scarfy system at this point. I don't know where I belong.
Got a home here on the Goose, at the very least.
Yeah, that reminds me. What's happening to our Goose in this deal?
Hey, I don't know. I can't let her go if I have any opportunity to keep her.
I seem to remember this Jim Satoshi guy was interested in our goose in exchange.
He had some designs on it, but negotiations are coming. We're going to see what his lines are and what ours are. And MINERVA,
just watch me flip all these ones into sixes.
I want to see you up there flying. I do. I just want to make sure we do it right and don't get in hot water along the way. And I have some serious concerns. I really do.
I don't want to see a government gain a sufficient increase in the projection of power that they choose armed conflict to expand themselves.
If you think that I do, then I think you misunderstand me in a large degree. That is the opposite of what I would want as well.
I don't think that's what you want. I don't want you to misinterpret that. I just want you to know that that is the motivation behind my urgency.
Well, then that we can share. And I promise you, I am keeping that in mind. If it looks like the only way to do this is to tear that damn ship apart, we will do it. I promise you that much. But I need us to put every ounce of energy into keeping what possible resources we have active. We don't know when or where or how or why we're going to need to workable ships, but things have been insane. And we have a lot of people that need help.
I'm trying to figure out what happens after we get the Hosta up and running. Like, doesn't that just put a big target on our back?
Sure does. Because that ship, by your estimation, is one of the strongest. Your fear in it falling into the hands and information about it to the other governments in this sector and the destabilization effect, that is enough to make me think that that is something that they would then want regardless of who owns it, especially once it's active.
I feel like Midapile would be coming after us all the same. It's the ship they want, right? So,
but again, no, they've reached out their hand back in friendship, so let's not discount that. Maybe we can keep that civil this time.
That's true.
But this is, look, I'm scared. I'm sketched. And Midapile did offer this operation back in our hands, MINERVA. So what if we waltz back here and see what that looks like? But they want to put shackles on me to make it happen the last time. That's why I wanted to try to make this happen ourselves. And I don't know how to do it, but I'm asking for you to help me try.
We have a path to make this happen ourselves without the government of Midapile.
Yeah, but then
we
what?
Do.
What? Say we pull this off though. Then what? We just keep flying around Cress Wayside in the Hosta?
Yeah. Well, then we either way we have to go to the naval yard.
Yes, and we need to try to find a way to deal with Scarfy.
I agree.
To free those slaves.
2 active cruisers, that gives us a hell of a lot more authority in any conversation regarding the fate of an entire planet than just one, in my book.
The showman would need retrofit in order to be any sort of power projection.
Well, it just so happens I've been going through some catalogs, and he throws a couple options up on the screen for based off of whatever information he would have.
Freebooter A, freebooter B.
Yeah.
I think Van-Vee gets a little like, when you say operationalizing 2 ships, at first he was like, well, who's the other pilot? Oh, it's MINERVA. Yeah. I'd have to pilot a ship without MINERVA's help. I haven't done that in ages.
Technically, MINERVA can be in 2 places at once.
Yeah, there are some limitations.
So
I can't drill both ships.
That's true. Although in the flashback, MINERVA did manage to, the flashback MINERVA managed to pull some ships along with her through a jump, which is interesting.
Well, why don't we get to Hald and see what kind of deal? Because I'm assuming we can afford the determination, right, sir?
It sounds like they're willing to extend the line of credit. Look, we're going to have to put down some money, and we've got, between the 3 of us, a couple million available. We can. I think they will extend the line of credit, but we're going to need to secure some funds and soon. And I've done my best to start that process as well. But yeah, it's a significant outlay. And we are going to need crew to get that ship running. And MINERVA, yeah, that's going to take you too, for sure. I think that's...
I vote Iono's on the interview panel for the crew.
You got it.
I think the rest of us might be not the best for that type of job.
Yeah, well.
Panel of one, just
your
Iono.
Interview panel will consist of the one person who is not a member of the crew.
Beautiful.
The one person that may not scare everyone away.
What a strange job you have given her.
I don't know that's going to be her job. Quentin wants to shake hands, kiss babies.
President Quentin's coming out now.
He's got to be starting to make moves.
President Polk. It's going to go just as well as the last President Polk, I bet.
Yeah, I'm glad you got the reference. Thank you.
I do think that given some of the other things that we wish to do, I do think it's best we take the Hosta to the shipyard, acquire anything we can to get both ships running, go back, see if we can have them both running, and continue to figure out what we need to do to save the people of Scarfy.
I mean, I'm not sure I'm ready to talk about Scarfy yet because I don't know how we're going to tackle that. I feel like we have a lot to do before we can even get to that point, but
I agree.
There's
a lot we don't know about how to help those people.
I totally agree. And because helping them kind of, frankly, it means dealing with I don't even know if should call her mom anymore. Technically, there's no biological sharing between us, but no, it sounds like she's a dangerous person. And even us showing up might just be presenting her with an opportunity. So I want to free the planet, but I also want to make sure we're doing it in a way that doesn't enable her.
I agree.
And I don't have all that much information. And frankly, the only people that do have information, I just kind of help turn them all in without knowing it.
Decisions were made.
If we restore the Hosta, I can send a message to Metapile informing them that I plan to reveal myself. And we can see what that does to garner support to expand the Order of the Golden Goose. That might give us some of the resources we need, or at least try to accumulate while we try to research a solution for the people of Scarfy.
I don't...
That's a lot of ifs.
I don't know that that's the best plan in any way, shape, or form. Psionics don't get, the most friendly reception everywhere in this sector. I can't say that AI will as well. The revealing of yourself suddenly in control of a warship that you yourself estimate at one of the more powerful ones available in the sector may not have the inspiring and stabilizing effect you hope if not done in the right way. The last 6 months have taught me nothing, if not, we have to be careful about the ripple effects of what we do. And that's what I'm trying to do as well. We walk softly a little bit right now because the waves are crashing. Step one, we get the ship. We talk to these folks. We see what they want to do with the goose. We see what else they've got, what else they can do. We see if there's any salvage they know about. Or we haven't explored that avenue either.
We don't have
There's other chances out there. We don't. I don't know. I'm trying to make this work, Minerva, for you to get what you want and for me to get what I want here, because I don't want to shut this down.
I understand. And like I said at the beginning, the only reason that I don't just agree with you is because of the imminent launch of the forces in Metapile.
If we can't...
If there was no time
Van-Vee,
concern, then I'd be 100% on board with...
Minerva, can you do me a favor? Can you send a full list of the repairs you feel are necessary on the Hosta? A full list of what you think we're going to have to rip out of the determination to make it work, and the time that you think it's going to take. Van-Vee can put that together. We need the list of the to-do list of what you think we need to do, and so we can figure out if it's even feasible. What time frame do we have to sit there trying to hide or keep people at bay while we make this thing happen, and how soon do we have to get there ahead of Metapile? That's what we need to know. I don't have that information.
Well, this is kind of what I meant by the difference between making the Hosta operational versus making it such that it's either hidden or no one else can even use it. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if there's anything we could do that, only, you, Minerva, would be able to redo and fix.
You can always move her and hide her too. We got the tractor beam.
Because it feels to me like your motivation is Metapile, and we want to stop Metapile from finding the Hosta, not necessarily make the Hosta operational.
Yeah, I do want to remind you too that Metapile has essentially put that back on the table. They're willing to help him install this drive, supposedly, if we have that conversation. Now, I'm not saying that I'm ready to do that, because again, they seem to have a pretty hard line on making me agree some things that I didn't exactly want to do. Maybe that's shifted in the time frame they have, sweetened on us, and maybe a touch, or maybe it's that they have fewer, folks to lean on at this stage. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that it might just piss them the hell off again if we get there first and take this thing from under their noses too. I don't know what the right answer is, but we are in the shit here, and I don't see easy choices.
It's not like if, they show up and the ship's gone, they wouldn't have to think too hard about who beat them to it.
I have a question. Do we want to put dice on the table for this? Because it feels like we're going circularly.
I was hoping we could do this for another hour.
Yeah. I'm willing to roll. Yeah, let's.
So no speed run.
We're pushing for that February close of season.
That's right.
How cruel. Right. Rocks fall, Van-Vee specifically dies.
I think since
we're in a ship and rocks fall.
Yeah. Above board, Minerva is willing to do just the spike drive install to move the ship. The rest of the repairs, if you don't want to move other components over from the other ship to save time, Minerva's not going to fight for that. Those are capabilities expanding on the Hosta. That's not original function. So that would save some time. But Minerva's pretty hard line about getting that ship under our control.
Yeah, from my perspective or Quentin's perspective, it's ultimately, literally, I just don't feel like we actually have any understanding of what our safety level and ability to actually execute on such an operation is in that space. I just don't know. And I lean towards, that seems dangerous. So that is my biggest reluctance to even think about it. But
I've never seen a blue cable before. I wonder what this one does.
But again, that's also where I was like, I would like to know, what is our time frame? Like, when do we have to be there? And how much work do we have to do to even install that spike drive?
Yeah, what role would we need to do to be able to have Van-Vee determine how long it would take to get the spike drive online?
So, if what they say about the Showman class cruisers is correct, and that they are modular, which you have no capability of knowing whether that's true or not,
Right.
Removing it should be incredibly easy. They indicated that parts should be able to be swapped in less than 48 hours. Installing the new drive, you actually already have experience installing drives. So I would say probably several weeks, depending on how good the roll is. I mean, theoretically, the roll could be very good.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we definitely did
also be very bad.
Yes, we
Sure.
also have that.
But you don't want to hear that it will take more than that when you roll poorly. You want to hear that everything is going to go smoothly.
Yeah. Happy path.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? So, yeah, it sounds like we would, at a minimum, need to get there a month early to make it feasible. Theoretically, or at least
That's
3 weeks.
Tight timetable.
It is very tight timetable. We would more or less have to be on our way, more or less right out of the hall system.
We just need to take the firing pin out of it.
Are we good to go on a break right here?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to
I know I'm kind of skipping into the conversation, but it did seem like we were just walking in a circle to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
We'll be back in about 5 minutes for the second half.
Ooh, I like it.
Something with this crew definitely happened while I was on break, and I don't know what it is.
We talked some more.
Don't worry, we kept talking in circles.
We're good at it.
We are quite good at it.
I think.
What do you want to do?
I think Minerva and the captain are going back and forth. Van-Vee just kind of acknowledged he's supportive of, whatever they decide, he's going to help them try to retrofit or modify whatever we need to fit the crew's goals. And he keeps thinking that, frankly, it was kind of sad to see Iona walk out so disappointed after the 2 accomplishments she just had between a doctorate and then being published, even as not a art author, but like a, researcher assistant. And after what Captain said, maybe she should be part of the crew, and has anyone asked her that, he's going to go try to start that conversation.
Okay.
So he will gently knock on her door and see if she's in her room.
Yeah. Her door slides open. She takes a headset off and says, hey, how's it going?
Hey, Yono, I was just thinking, you mind if I come in?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think he's ever asked to go into her room before. He always just stands awkwardly in the hallway. No, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll go in. I couldn't help but notice, the way you had left before, made me really feel like you don't think you're part of this crew.
Look, Van-Vee, let me stop you there. MINERVA doesn't want Banana to get the information that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. If I am there, I have a responsibility to pass that information along.
And do you like that responsibility? I don't mean this specific case, but do you like working with Banana? Do you want to keep doing that, or what if we could find a way out of that where you just become part of our crew?
I really appreciate that, but I was born in the Banana corporate system. I owe them a lot. I like you guys, but I have to be honest, I don't see myself spending the rest of my life on this ship. Actually, one of my biggest worries is that I will spend the rest of my life on this ship.
Well, I mean, that's totally
because
fair.
We'll die.
It hasn't happened yet.
You shot a clone of yourself not a week ago.
All right. Well, there's no arguing that fact. Bringing the mood down. Okay. I guess all I was trying to say is if you had an interest to no longer be under Fanana,
You'll be the first person I come to.
Well, shoot, I appreciate that. I just meant the crew would be more than happy to have you for however long you want to be had. All right. Well, just something to think on. Sorry to bother you. Seems like you're in the middle of doing some of your maths.
I'm just listening to some music.
All right. And note that because he keeps buying music from MINERVA, so maybe he'll start buying some for Yono too. Well, thanks for the time, and I guess I'll let you know when our discussion's done and we eat or arrive in where are we going? The Anana system.
Right.
All right, I'll leave you be now.
And she turns so you can hear BC Boys, but a space futuristic version of it blasting out of her headphones as she puts them back on.
And
it's just intergalactic.
Nice.
The spacey boys.
I think Van-Vee would, instead of going back to where the debate's happening, he'd go to the bridge and just try to figure out, man, are we almost at Anana? And he'd start drafting a message that he wants to send out to as soon as we land. Send
you'll
out
get
to
there as soon as you feel like moving to that scene.
Yeah.
So
whenever it is cinematically convenient.
so I have drafted a message ready to send out to Sophie to see if she's in system, and the message includes kind of our known next 2 or 3 steps of where we're going. Basically going from Anana to Hald. From Hald, we can jump pretty damn far if we get the cruiser. So I think 4 hexes, right? So I don't know where we're going after that.
It's a level 3 drive. You can
Yeah,
trim the course for
+1.
4, and then your Spacefarer gives you 5.
Oh, trim the course makes you go extra? I thought it just made you go faster.
Oh, you're right. It does make you go faster. You're right.
Okay. I was
Forget
going to say, shoot, we could have made it to Hald in one jump. Okay.
You're correct.
All right, so we can jump 4 hexes, which means Van-Vee has no clue where we would go.
We can jump 3 hexes at a speed of 4 is essentially what we can do. Or we can jump up to 3 hexes at a speed of 4 is my understanding, because we have a spike 1 drive, your focus to add +1 to that, and then trimming
He's talking
the course.
about in the Showman, though. How far you...
In the Showman.
In the Showman. Yeah, the Showman's
Yes.
the Showman's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we have a jump of 3
Sorry.
plus my Starfarer thing would get us 4.
Totally forgetting.
And
Yeah.
you move at the speed of 5. Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. You arrive at Anana. You are immediately flooded with news reports and messages. There is a report about meta wheat prices stabilizing, a future treasure convoy from the Empire rolling through the area. There is a notice that the planet Thorhill is currently condemned and to not approach it or Mariner mines. There is a outbreak of significant... You know how in zombie movies they never use the word zombie? It's always like walker or something. They just call it zombies. There's an outbreak of zombies on Thorhill. They believe that a outbreak of Maltech has altered the minds of people on planet, and local officials are attempting to get order back on planet, but there's also a notice that the government has been overthrown by local radicalists.
Oh.
So Thorhill is in for a really bad time. You receive an automatic invitation to the local Robo Derby for the next 3 months. The Ostriches with Lance competition are ongoing. And you also receive notification that on Thord, the Open Regatta 3200 is going to be launching off on July 1st.
We can jump to Thord.
That's for hyperboat racing.
Let's derail any important missions. Just go race hyperboats.
Convince Minerva.
You also
That one's up to
detect
you.
that there are several pirate ships in system, and there are only local defenders with gunships in orbit of their planets, and none helping to stop traffic or protect the arrival zone. So,
Any of those pirates paying attention?
I was going to say, especially to the, what'd you say, a treasury being shipped?
a treasure ship, yes. Treasure fleet.
From that other...
It's from the other sector through the jump gate in the southeast. Yes, they're going to be doing a Mansa Musa tour, if you know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the African king who was so rich he traveled to other countries to tell them how rich he was, and he spent so much gold in several countries that he
stabilized
completely destroyed. Yes, he destroyed economies by just being like, "What if I paid with 6 tons of gold?" And they're like, "We don't even have 6 tons of gold." He's
I'm
like,
sorry, what did you say?
You do now.
Wait, you measure your gold in tons?
Tons and tons.
Yeah, they're doing like a tour de force of mercantilism, according to this news report, which may or may not be accurate. You know, the news is not strictly accurate all the time. Yeah, is there anything you wanted to do here? Refuel, perhaps, or jump out to the next system? There are pirates. They are actively checking ships, but they don't seem to be attacking. It is 2 frigates and a escort fighter. They are not together.
Maybe they're looking
None
for
of them
each other.
headed our way. None of them actively scanning us.
One of the frigates is here at the arrival zone. Another is just kind of making its way to the trade lanes to one of the planets, specifically Pamita Chit. And the fighter is blocking the path on Dane. So, like, its presence is causing people to go around it, and it's mad dogging people by, like, shadowing their course and basically throwing the trade lanes into chaos.
What an asshole.
Being bullies, but they haven't actually, attacked yet. All right.
I never hack them.
Well, Van-Vee,
If you want to refuel, you will have to head to one of the planets because there is no fueling station at the arrival zone.
Well, if I know we want to keep this goose with us, but God forbid we do have to give it up in order to get this determination. We should probably bring it in on a full tank, don't you say?
fuel probably wouldn't hurt, of course. Emergencies are what they are. We've got some folks here that we need to be careful with, obviously. So, Van-Vee, that's up to you.
There is a refueling station in the hull system. It shouldn't surprise you that a major shipyard also has a gas station.
That makes total sense. Van-Vee, though, this was your stop. Did you send your message? Did you scan what you need to scour, what you need to scour? How long you need to stay here?
As soon as we got in system, I hit send, sir. Although I guess the one thing I'd like to check, is there any way to identify these pirates and see if they are?
You want to hard scan them?
Well, I'm trying. Did I
bring attention?
Did we hard scan the ones that attacked, my family's company before? I'm trying to is there a clear?
No, I did not either. I just torpedoed their plans and moved on.
So there's no way to really match them because I don't know who the previous ones were anyways. Correct. So yeah, then no point scanning. Well, I guess unless you guys are interested in some sort of zombie outbreak, we can move on.
That does sound like something that is a big goddamn deal, but that don't sound like something I want to handle.
All right. Well, then double jump on
this moment.
Double jump right on over to Hull then.
Okay. The trip will take 3 more days. You will arrive on an empty tank of gas. You will arrive on May 8th. If there's anything you want to do before then, now's the time to tell me.
I'm assuming I didn't get any messages back.
You did not, but you sent your message and it was accepted by the Exchange of Light satellite system.
Okay. So it tells me they're not in Anana.
Correct.
Okay.
Did we come to any? Did we come to any agreement, or did we continue?
Either of us convinced either of us.
Quietly fly there.
I don't know. Like I said, Quentin is definitely dedicated to getting MINERVA into the Hasta. His big fear, ultimately, at this stage, is that he does not know how dangerous it is to go to that system for that purpose, to be there for multiple weeks, without that military cover. But
I think if you two were still discussing Van-Vee when we get to Hald would take us to Regribe or Regrebe, and then Suranar Pretty.
You want to go to the Fitzroy Project base. Okay.
If he's not given any direction, that's where he's going to bring us.
So when you arrive, a number of things happen long before you're able to do that. You receive several news reports, the first of which is condemnation from Finana to all points, to all governments, that the Pope on Thord has been acting perfidiously. He's assembling a crusader fleet of colonization ships to be sent to unknown points. There are numerous bulk cruiser colonist freighter ships that are meant to land on planets and unfold into permanent habitable settlements that can no longer take off. Each of these can hold 5,000 or more people, and so the government of Finana is deeply, deeply worried that the Pope is going to mass colonize a already inhabited planet and essentially take it over. There's no talk from the Pope about that. You also learn that the Finana is laying in plans for the Mono Hoshizao class battleship. It believes that it will finish it in the next 2 decades and is beginning the project as a force of deterrence. Its outlined purpose, you can kind of read between the lines, like words like force projection and inshore operate. It's meant to invade planets, essentially.
Deterrence by attacking.
When you arrive, you detect over 2,000 ships in system. You are also immediately hailed by the John W. Raymond shipyards. You also receive a binary, like a flash code message from the salvage yards here. And there are about 21 ships approaching you with weapons armed.
Oh, what the fuck?
Well, you know.
I guess
Gotta be the local authorities.
I'll forward that hail to the captain.
Yeah, is anyone reaching out with messages, or are they just coming at us with
You were
guns
hailed
out?
by the shipyards. Yeah, all right.
As
your
that.
presence becomes known in the system, more and more ships are reaching out to hail you.
Okay.
You have hundreds of hails.
John W. Raymond Shipyard.
Yeah, prioritizing by clear order of like who the hell we know and who the hell we're here to see, I suppose, and who the hell seems like the most pressing from an authority perspective also.
Who's got the biggest gun pointed at us?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Okay. You want to prioritize via one of the ships that is approaching you with weapons armed?
I guess, I mean, if the shipyard reached out first, I guess we could start with them. Okay. They seem like the most official power in the system, I assume.
You get a secretary that says, stand by for a message from Director Janosek.
Got it.
As that's happening, the other ships continue to approach you at high speed.
Well, I suppose then we will be reaching out to them. Hold this director. It seems like we should talk to these folks
you
real
put the
quick.
director on hold. You reach out to one of the ships. The lead ship is a cruiser. Its captain assemble like it's like a Star Trek bridge, and he's standing in a uniform. It looks like a naval captain's uniform, but his rank bars indicate that he is a supervisor. And he salutes and says, Dean Polk, please stand by.
Sir, can I help you? I'm sorry?
You see someone at the edge of the bridge just get out like a little whistle and go, and the lead in the fight song of the Psionic Academy begins playing over open broadcast to all ships in system.
Oh boy.
And the ships assemble into a rough line and begin firing torpedoes at you one by one. Unarmed torpedoes with dummy warheads.
And Quentin is sort of blown away. Like, does he recognize this person in any way, shape, or form?
No, you have no idea. But he is holding a salute at attention, as are all of his bridge crew. And you're receiving communications from each of the 21 ships, who are all of their captains and crews are also saluting you.
So we're receiving a 21 torpedo salute.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing.
As the end of the lead-in fight song ends, the corporate anthem of Phenomena Fleet Systems begins playing as well.
Oh, okay. Indicating that maybe the hold, the guy is ready for me, or
no? This is standard policy for receiving a foreign dignitary. You play foreign head of state. You play their anthem, then your anthem.
Okay.
Do you relay that these are dummy warheads, or am I dodging?
I don't you look at the sensors and you see they're not flagged as hostile.
Okay. Good.
So they do explode a short distance of several kilometers away from you, spilling drones out, and the drones assemble into the Psionic Academy's flag. So each of them has like a series of lights on it, and they assemble into a flag.
Quentin is like legitimately hit by this.
That's
like
incredible.
He was not ready. Like it came out of nowhere.
So the hundreds of ships are all sending you messages saying like, we stand with Lita. Like, do you need anything? Do you require any assistance?
He is like emotional at this point. Like, eyes getting watery. Like this is the most direct, unequivocal sign of support that he has gotten, from just a public, as far as that goes, this whole time.
So the light flash message from the salvage yards is, "Attention, Golden Goose. You will always have a home here."
And just beyond touched and appreciative. Thank you.
Someone appears on camera in a full dress uniform, from the original message, the one from the shipyards.
Yeah. And Quentin would say, "Sir, I would love to chat with you. I just need a few moments to address some official business." And he puts the captain on hold and switches back over to the shipyard. He's collecting himself as he switches over,
So the ships form up into escort formation in a flying V, with the cruiser directly behind you, and then 10 on each side. My name is Stanislaw K. Janosek. I'm the director of the John W. Raymond Shipyards, known possibly by the name Diamond City. So, like, you're getting the size of the shipyard. It is really, really big. I mean, they are working on over 100 ships right now. But it is part of a ring of solar panels and gas collectors in the upper atmosphere of the planet. So it fully encompasses the planet.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
We've cleared Slipway 12 for your arrival, Dean, and I see section leader Jim Satoshi is cleared to take you to the Showman. We'll be sending a cargo lighter over to your bay to escort you to the Showman. Is there anything we can do to accommodate you or your crew members?
I will definitely let you know if we have any specific requests, but so far, just the standard refueling and resupply to start with is going to be wonderful.
We will see to it that your ship is stocked in Slipway 12 while you tour the Determination.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Look forward to meeting you if that chance arises anyway.
I would be honored to have your presence in the control tower. Let's do lunch after you inspect your possible new purchase.
Excellent. Sounds like a plan. I'll see you then.
Okay.
Quentin cuts back over to the ship captain.
You receive a failure to send message from the exchange of light. Your message to Zoe Polk was sent successfully. They received a corrupted reply. So they received a reply, like they got data. It is not a message.
MINERVA, can you take a look at this?
Do we receive the data file?
Yeah, you know what? Sure.
Okay.
I'd like you to roll a mental saving throw, MINERVA, as you download the data.
Oh, snap.
Ooh, revenge.
Okay. You have downloaded a virus.
Well, I'll go ahead and delete that.
Okay.
And I'll inform the captain that it was an electronic attack.
What? And that's from the exchange of light?
What? From Zoe? There was nothing. It wasn't hidden messages or any. What was it intended to do?
It was a virus. I didn't give it the chance to continue to replicate.
Can you isolate it and see?
What
was the source?
Deleted.
Yeah.
Can you build a VI and allow it to go wild on that VI? See what happens.
Was it transmitted from Hald?
It was transmitted from the exchange of light satellite. Oh, you mean point of origin?
Yeah.
Point of origin for the message is the Fitzroy Project on Surinir Pretty.
Suspect. A charity that sends out viruses.
Oh, God damn it, Zoe. What the hell did you get involved in?
You think she's just trying to keep you away, Captain?
I don't know. I was hoping maybe there was some sort of garbled code in there or something, but damn.
Well, we're close enough now. There's one way to go find out.
But
who do you want to meet with first, sir? You want to go after your sister first, or you want to go after go talking to Jim Satoshi? I know he's waiting for us on, what is it, Slipway 12?
Well, we're here at the shipyard now, right? Or we're heading that way.
It takes you a day to get to either location.
Right. Quentin, the virus concerns him. He's not sure what's going on a little bit. There are in system, so he's going to just send a message, right? He should be able to get her on real-time chat, theoretically. So he starts that process.
Okay. You get no audio, no video, audio only, very grainy. Almost immediately back, like within 5 seconds. Hey, Quentin, talk right now. Abnormal weather. Okay.
Zoe, I'm in system. I'm gonna come to you. Should I? Is everything okay?
Can't understand.
MINERVA, can you boost this? Can you scan the planet? See if the storms?
Is there anything I can try to do to the signal?
You want to boost the signal? Yeah, hold on. Let me see what skill that would be.
Can you just go ahead and clear the weather? That'd be great.
I can't do that, but maybe I can. I don't know.
I honestly think that this might just be a connect roll. Connect intelligence roll. Ironically.
I thought connect was a social skill.
You know, it specifically says find people that are helpful, make useful connections.
Well, yeah. Van-Vee has a point in connect if Van-Vee's listening.
I can roll that as well, too. Yeah, I'm happy to do it if that's...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is showing up somewhere and being like, I think I know somebody who can solve this problem.
I agree that it's that, but I don't just want to be like... Because there's no, like, hardware skill besides fix.
Yeah, I understand. This is more of a circumstance chance.
I'll say fix, sure. Fix int to tune the array.
Interesting.
Fix, huh? Well, okay.
Hold on, I gotta get back to see what you rolled. An 8?
What?
Okay.
Why'd you roll it?
Because I was asking about what I could do.
I was going to intercept you.
Cleanly receiving the signal. The signal is intentionally being set that way.
Oh.
You don't think that she's having trouble hearing, Quentin? At all?
Captain, it would appear that your transmission is likely being received clearly.
The old bag of potato chips trick. Oh.
Quentin's trying to rack his brain and think if there is anything that he could say to get Zoe to respond to him to let him know she's in distress, or
blink twice.
Like literally, like a childhood memory or some shared thing. Like, is he actually talking to Zoe? He would like to try to figure that. Does it sound like her?
Is a connect roll for sure. Connect
no, that completely makes sense.
Go for it, Captain.
All right.
Go ahead and do a notice to see
what
if she
happens.
blinks.
An 8. She gives you part of a memory you have of a time the two of you ran away from home together and got in a ton of trouble, and the two of you promised that you would never ever do it again, and then you did it again, like the next day.
Okay. This sets the stage. All right. Quentin says out loud to her something along the lines of, "We have a lot of business in system. We're going to be here for at least a few days. I hope this weather clears up. I'll be in touch if I can. I miss you. I love you. I'm glad you're safe."
No need to hurry. And there's a wash of static.
Yeah, all right. So line cuts. Quentin turns and says, "No need to hurry." That was clear as day, and it sure seems like that might not have been the accurate statement, given the other items. She's in trouble. She's in trouble. That's what she was telling me. She's in trouble.
All right, so we'll go to see Jim after then. Let's go check on your sister.
All right. Quentin shoots a message over to the shipyard and Jim, and gives them a timetable.
Before you do, Captain,
I must disagree with you once again.
If she wasn't speaking to you plainly, then changing what we're doing right now will indicate to those around her that she communicated something covertly to you. I'm not saying we don't do anything, but I'm saying an immediate change in agenda could put her in more danger.
Oh, you're not wrong, Minerva. God damn it. Can you scan? Shit, they'll notice that too.
Let's go get a bigger ship with bigger guns, then go get her.
Yeah, but if time is of the essence, I know she's in trouble. Minerva.
How far can you bamf, sir?
I got 1,000 kilometers in me.
That couldn't even get you to the moon from the planet's surface.
Yeah, it's not like
you're several 100,000 away.
Every 6 seconds you can try that, but that's a while.
That sounds exhausting.
Do we know where the research site is?
Yeah, you know where it is on the moon. You have a direct location, like where the transmission origin came from.
Is there any news in system? Yeah, can we scour news in system to see if there's anything about the research station, travel logs, what's been going on
Normally you have
there?
Iono do this, but yes.
Yeah.
Google.
Travel from Surinir pretty. It's not that it's been restricted in any way. It's just that there are no ships currently traveling to or from it. And Regrebe itself there are very few, even though there are 2 moons, 3 space stations, and hundreds of millions of people on Regrebe, there are very few ships in orbit and none traveling to or from the planet.
Interesting. That looks suspicious as hell. What the hell is going on?
That, you know, you get several people commenting from Phenomena like, what is going on? You know, like, youth on Twitter are just like, conspiracy theory. You know, aliens, slip space aliens from beyond Spike Space. Have they landed? Are they conducting weird experiments? And somebody's like, no, man, no way. Those things aren't real. Let me tell you what it really is. Psionics have taken over on Regrebe. They're uprising. It's time to begin the mind control infection.
Yeah, but did you see this article put out by this guy named Polk? Aliens are real, man.
They actually haven't gotten that yet. You guys are the fastest ship transiting with that information.
No, we brought the news.
Oh, well, then yeah, there are a bunch of comments right now that like...
Hold on, I'm getting a feed right now. This is James Jeff.
Conspiracy theories are proven true, that there are MES space aliens. There are things, maybe not aliens specifically, but there are things that watch us from beyond the veil. It definitely throws all of the halt system into a panic.
Oh, damn.
You know,
but
there are transmissions coming from Regrebe, by the way.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Ships are not coming. There are, like, it has the level of traffic of communications you would expect from hundreds of millions of people talking to each other and 2 moons and 3 space stations on planet, right? Like
MINERVA?
Lots and lots of transmissions.
Are those real people talking? Are those real transmissions?
You want to hack the system?
I mean, are those encrypted?
Some of them are, some of them aren't. This planet, Regrebe, does appear to have quantum ECM on the planet and on its space stations, but it does not cover the ships that are in orbit.
Please don't break ECM and get us in trouble again.
And Surinir Pretty does not have quantum ECM covering it.
I don't want to look. I'm not going to try to break any encryptions. I just want to look at unencrypted stuff.
Okay.
And I want to write a program to see if it appears to be like an artificial. It doesn't seem chaotic enough to be natural communications.
Okay. You have an ability. I believe that means that only another AI can penetrate your programming. Am I crazy in thinking that's how it works?
I can automatically break any encryption that wasn't written by another AI.
Okay. You do need to roll for this then. And on a 15, much of the encryption, you're not breaking the encryption, right? You're only doing the traffic messages between ships.
Right.
Those are faked.
Okay.
They have absolutely been written by a AI and are disguising themselves as all's well messages. On a 15, you know that there is a steady data stream from Surinir Pretty that is in the same code as the quantum ECM on the planet. So it's getting through. That is going to the capital city. Something with AI level programming skills is transmitting a continuous and enormous amount of data from that moon to the capital.
Captain.
MINERVA. What's going on?
These transmissions are artificial.
Oh, bitch.
Because I know you're already starting to try to think of plans. These are generated by another mind like mine.
Who is it? Do we know? Who the hell could be in system?
I don't know the answer to that. I didn't do anything invasive.
I think Van-Vee's reaction is, why the hell not?
There is a significant
don't look like
amount
MFH. Don't look like Fairy.
There is a
who else?
significant
It's not
amount.
Minstrel.
What if it's that one?
There is a significant amount of information being transmitted to the capital on the planet.
What kind?
I would have to try to break the encryption in order to know that.
No,
And they would know that another AI is here.
All right. Well, that's probably the point of contact type of situation then. We don't want to reveal that we know, I suppose. Holy shit.
Captain, I think to me it really comes down to what do you think Zoe meant when she said take your time? Because that to me is the most important part. Like if she really meant take your time, let's see if we can learn some more information. But if she meant, code for I need help, we should just be going there regardless.
I guess that's what does Quentin believe about that? How did she sound to Quentin? Instinct-wise, she had just used some code to say I'm in trouble. And then she also said, take your time, which he could view a couple ways, but how would he view it? How did she sound to him? Did it
sounded a lot like what I said.
Yeah.
You'll have to take the emotional context and your own thought. There's no
I mean,
here.
Quentin definitely at this point views it as a opposite day statement type of situation where time may actually be of the essence here.
Captain, whatever plans that you decide to come up with, you would need to account for something like me deciding that you should not succeed.
I agree, which means 100% of this is going to be relying on you preventing that counter. MINERVA, I ask a lot of you. This is probably going to be the biggest one at that level. My sister's on the other end of this, and she's the last family I got. I'm not walking away from this, and this is what we got to do. I don't know what this is, though, and that's where I need your help. Van-Vee, MINERVA, what ideas do you have? How do we pull this off? We got 21 ships that just offered our support, whatever the hell we need, and, maybe we ask them to give us a quick escort.
I'm sure there are some limitations.
I agree, but if something starts shooting at us and them, then I think they might just join the side. Other people not shooting at them.
Does it hurt to ask Director Genosec what's going on?
I do not think it does, and I am happy to start that process because if he's got any extra information, then yeah. But do we want to reveal what we know?
Well, maybe don't tell him there's an AI. Leave that part out. But just general information. Hey, I believe my sister is on this planet. Just curious, what's the deal there? Like, just nothing serious.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Let me call him up and or at least somebody, and see if they're willing to give me a quick chat.
Well, my original recommendation still stands. I believe we should dock. You should go to that meeting. You can ask him for information. Van-Vee and I can try to brainstorm while we don't reveal the fact that your sister has tried to talk to you covertly.
Oh my God.
I think I think this one's on the captain. What does he think his sister meant? Right. If I had Zach telling me, hey, take your time, but I think it means get your ass over here, I don't care if my intentions are known. I'm getting my ass over there.
It's just a recommendation.
Reasonable one, like all you have, MINERVA. I appreciate your caution and your moral certitude at all, always. In this case, I don't think I can do anything else. I need to make the phone call and see what information he can give. And if it seems like taking this meeting is the appropriate move and that we fly this in stealth, then sure, let's do that. But maybe he's got the thing that pushes me over the edge to know. So let me make a quick call. And he puts in that call to the shipyard guy just to see if he's willing to
open
chat.
Transmission to talk about this.
Oh no, this would be like MINERVA encrypt it, try to let him know this is
You get some of those war-headed robots and you spell out your message in space for everyone to see.
I feel like you can hear the sigh in MINERVA's voice, but MINERVA doesn't sigh over the speakers and says, if I use an encryption that would be appropriate for the ship, because you don't want another AI to listen to it, they will hear anything they want to. And if I encrypt it in a way that they have to try, then they will know that there's an AI present in the system and it will escalate.
Encrypt it so they have to, so that it's, what you would expect from the ship. Don't make it look suspicious, but encrypt it and watch for attempts to break it. And if they attempt to break it, I want you to learn what you can from it. I'm not going to say
I'm going to point out that attempting to break it is an entirely passive process. They only have to receive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought we had like an opposed aspect, but you're right. Yeah.
That's what MINERVA's trying to tell you. Any encryption that would have any chances.
We'll go to the station. I will avoid doing this thing.
But you can encrypt to block 95% of the people here. It's just not the other AI.
Just not the one thing you're worried about.
Yeah, the single reason you wish to have it encrypted. But that's all. Right. That's all.
Well, look, says. I'm trying to say that we should go and help. I don't know. Shit. What the hell's the idea? Take your time. What does he think? He thinks it's urgent.
If you go in the shipyard, then you can just go talk to him in person, get the information, and go.
Yes, that is the safer move as far as that goes. As far as getting more information about what we're dealing with.
So your phone call could be, hey, we are coming to the station. Love to meet you in person. Ask the question, then book it if needed.
Yeah, certainly. Make the quick phone call. I'm going to let the guy just know that we're headed his way. Van-Vee, start kicking the ship in their direction.
I'm speeding ever so slightly.
Something else that I would point out is that there seems to be, because that whole welcoming fleet was a Phenana fleet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there is a Phenana fleet here.
Yeah.
So we don't know who that AI is. We don't know what they're doing, but we do know that Phenana is affiliated with one.
Yeah, but I also know that my sister said she's in trouble. So that's what I'm focused on right now. And yeah, like I agree. We're not going to make a big enemy of Phenana, but I also don't think that they're going to get too super upset if I go to a place and they start shooting at me. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying that they're gonna. We don't know what the hell's going on. I just know my sister says she's in trouble. That's literally all I know. And I'm starting to get a little agitated about it. So I apologize, MINERVA. I'm going to do the best that we can in this situation. So right now, I just want to get dude on the phone and let him know that we're on our way.
I have Genesec on line 2 for you, sir.
I send a text message to Van-Vee asking if he thinks it's feasible to take 1 or 2 plates from the heat shielding on our ship to deliver something roughly the dimensions of a large box without it burning up in orbit.
Yeah.
Wait, to do what?
He wants to deploy the suit. He wants to send his
orbital drop the gorilla.
Okay. When you said the box, you meant your frame. I was like, what box?
He's going to send one of his suits.
Yeah. MINERVA's trying to come up with ideas while we're trying to do what we can.
I mean, you are going to have to pay to repair the ship after you rip parts of it out. But yeah, it's doable.
Yeah. Again, MINERVA's just trying to come up with ideas.
Yeah.
So what's your plan? Is to essentially airdrop the sledge onto the moon?
MINERVA does not want to do this in the slightest, but it's just trying to come up with any sort of plausible ideas.
Well, and depending how close we get, Captain could also BAMF.
Well, that's the thing is, yeah, if we actually do that, we could all go. He can pressure shield y'all in Van-Vee in if he wanted to. And
oh God, Iona's got to fly the ship after.
Yeah, she's on her own there. But no, I think there's MINERVA and Van-Vee, or not Van-Vee, and Quentin going on a airdrop adventure could be a lot of fun, and I'm into that idea as a potential, but we'll see.
This is like one of the Halo missions where you airdrop in, you take out the air support, and then you land the ship later.
What do you want to do now? I'm hearing
we're headed
all
to
kinds of plans.
We're headed towards the
still
shipyard.
docking.
All right.
Yeah,
You
we
are
got to
doc-
dock and talk to the Genesec guy.
You are docked at Slipway 12. It's a full dock that fully encompasses you with an airlock. So your ship is in a fully pressurized bay held in place by gravity plates. So it can be worked on from any angle. And
That's pretty cool.
They send a cargo lighter to wait for you in the ship airlock, which is a airlock large enough for ships to enter, to take you to Slipway 13.
Well,
So when you are ready, you can disembark and head to that. Or if you want to call somebody on the ship or on the shipyards, pick up a phone, an internalized phone, and call Genosec.
what Quentin would like to do is to ask Minerva and or Iono, whoever is going to be available in this situation, to keep passive sensors on the moon and the planet. Watch for movement and change of activity and communications, things of that nature. And he's going to head over to this meeting. Van-Vee, you want to join, or Minerva,
I
what
can
do
either-
you want to do?
I can either join you, sir, or I was thinking maybe as we're, getting some supplies, refueling the basic stuff, I can chat it up with some of these guys here and see what I can learn about Grebe and the space.
I like the idea. Yeah, you cover the ground game.
Whenever, do you have any interest in meeting
Riding in my ear, you riding in the box or the sledge?
I think it would be less suspicious if I rode in the ear.
All right, sounds like a plan. Guess it's just me. Well, back in a flash.
Where are you going to?
Hitting the shuttle to go and.
Okay. You flash into the shuttle. There is someone outside in an ensign's uniform that says, "Sir, did you just get past me?"
Oh, yeah. Hey, how you doing? Name's Quentin.
Understood.
Nice to meet you. Sticks his hand out.
Comes in. Instead of shaking your hand, he salutes you and says, "If you'll strap yourself in, sir, I will have the pilot transit us over to Slipway 13. Is anyone else coming?"
Just me today.
Understood. So he leans his head through the cockpit door and says something in Japanese, and the shuttle, Star Trek introing, backs out, and then slow orbit of the space station to bring you to Slipway 13 with orchestral music playing. As you're going, he says, "Can I offer you biscuit or curry, sir?"
Take a biscuit, sure.
Okay. He brings out a small, airplane food tray that has 3 different kinds of curries, 2 cakes, and a crumpet on it.
Quentin grabs the crumpet.
Okay. Very good, sir.
Thank you.
Can I say it is an honor to have you on board, sir?
Well, I appreciate the positivity, but I appreciate everything y'all are doing and the welcome.
It has been made clear by the board that you're to be afforded all honors.
You have an amicable relationship, certainly. How have you found your time with Finana?
I've served my entire life.
Yeah. That's impressive. Good for you.
You arrive. The showman looks beautiful inside. I mean, white, black accents. It's roughly the size of an Arleigh Burke destroyer. I mean, it's easily 50,000 tons and about 200 meters long. It's much, much bigger. You can see that the armor is thicker. There are huge spots for mounting weapons. Varied electronic masts for intercepting communications, advanced sensors. And as you land, section later, Jim Satoshi, wearing a uniform of something like a Commodore, comes out with white gloves and a hat on. He pulls the hat off as he approaches and says, Quentin, good to see you in person.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Want to bring you on board, if you'd like to walk and talk.
Absolutely. Please lead the way.
So, I have to say, it seems like you're very interested in getting your hands on the determination.
You know, it is an incredible opportunity that I am definitely interested in. You know, if the numbers look right and the timing is, then I think things are good.
We wanted to offer you 1 million credits sight unseen for your current vessel. A private buyer has already indicated that he will repurchase it immediately.
Mind if I ask who?
He leans in and says, it's a private buyer, but I believe it's someone we both know. Company policy would not permit me to pass any names.
No, of course not. Of course not.
So he begins walking you through the length of this ship. It is 5 decks tall, 200 meters long. It is very big. I mean, it's meant to hold hundreds of people and has the room size for it. He's demonstrating how, like, whole sections of the ship bulkhead can be fully removed from it and replaced. So, like, the advanced lab can be removed in 48 hours and another module fitted into its place, or just like an empty cargo blank spot fitted in.
It's impressive. Honestly, this is fantastic engineering. I really wish Van-Vee had gotten a chance to see all this in person, but certainly he'll get a chance to inspect in the future, I hope. But wow, incredible operation. You said this is the third of the class?
Yes. There was, of course, the Showman.
Yeah.
And the Integrity. This is Determination. We're also finishing work up on Enterprise. We have orders in for another 9.
Wow, that's impressive. You sourcing all the spike drives through Midipile, or?
We're producing them locally.
Wow, that's even more impressive.
Somewhere Minerva's going home.
Yeah.
I mean, just to be clear, though, the biggest spike drive they can make is a level 3. The reason why Midipile is exclusive is because they can make up to level 5s.
Mm-hmm. What's your spike drive production looking like? How you guys, man, Midipile's been doing some crazy stuff. We were just there and taking a look at some of their production facilities. It's mind-blowing what they're getting up to.
Locally, I can release the public figures that we produce about 20 a year.
Wow. Y'all are really building something here.
I assure you that the one in the Determination is a local, hand-built original.
Fantastic. I appreciate that. That's if they're in the engine room, Quentin would be cooling over it.
I think you'll find, Captain, that you're able to connect to a psionic anchor point on board. That's a lost technology, not standard on the Showman. The board asked us to include that for you personally.
I will have to send my thanks that way, certainly.
So you are amenable to purchasing this?
I think it's pretty obvious that I am. Yes, I am absolutely interested in this. I think there's just about no way that I don't want to do it, but we do have to, of course, come to the arrangements, come to the deal. So, my colleagues might have a bit of say on that front, but why don't you hit me with your initial terms and we'll go from there.
Well, were there any changes you wanted to have made to the ship before it launches?
There are a few modifications I think we're going to need just to make her, immediately operational. Obviously, you're familiar with the situations that we've been dealing with. My planet and otherwise, there is some desire to have the ability for her to defend herself potentially and otherwise. But of course, timing, money, all these things come into play. And
we can get it done in 48 hours.
48 hours. All right. Well, we've got a couple options that I think look good to us, but I'll confer with my compatriots and let you know exactly what our choice is here very shortly.
Okay. Shall I send you back on a cargo ladder?
Yeah, please do. I do need to meet with the director. I had a chance to
Oh, would
go
you
have
like to
lunch
be
with him
sent
out.
there first?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Quentin is, obviously Minerva's riding along in the ear, so she knows everything that he knows about the potential deals in front of them. Again, the options from an equipment perspective to swap in there for Quentin, they're out there for you all to take a quick look at. The major difference being it's more expensive for the one option and requires our last pre-tech component. So,
Would you like to use the lighter, or perhaps you'd like to use our internal transitor system?
You know what? The transit system sounds fantastic. How about
It's a transitor system.
Transitor. Oh,
I feel like he walks you off. It's an elevator, but you don't elevate in space. So, he leads you to a white capsule that says transitor on the side. He leans in and holds down a blue button and says, to the command tower, please. And he steps back out and gestures for you to step into the transitor. There's enough space for 4 people to sit comfortably.
And steps in. Is Satoshi coming with him, or
no?
Bidding farewell. Well, I will see you around, Jim.
Okay. As you say that, the door shuts, and you begin to travel outside. It feels like you must be moving very quickly. Inside, you have local gravity. You're clearly moving at over 1G of your transitor is moving very fast. Faster than a cargo lighter would take, for sure. You arrive at the command tower. Someone says code blue, and many screens are covered with a orange text that says classify code blue. And people get up and stand up and just go take a lunch. Director Genosek comes over and says, Dean, good to see you. Call me Stanislaw.
Stanislaw, yeah.
Want to go catch
Fantastic
that lunch real quick? We've got, I understand, something called drip beef. It's like a beef sandwich where the drippings of the beef are made into a sauce.
Sounds intriguing for sure. Is that a private location? I do want to have a,
we can take it in my office. I'll have it sent up.
Fantastic.
So he takes you into his office. You can see all the terminals in here have the orange classified symbol over them. He, his desk is apparently mostly holographic because he presses a button and it becomes completely clear. And 2 waiters in dress uniforms of sergeants come in and begin setting up a full dinner service for the 2 of you, including placemats, silverware, multiple forks, multiple spoons, wine glasses, water glasses, a tumbler.
This is, Quentin's definitely used to some, sort of fine dining, right? Classy aspects. He knows the order of the forks, the basic,
They begin setting out au jus sandwiches for the 2 of you, which look frankly ridiculous on the tables
next to all this finery. Yeah, exactly. Well, director, I think my life has been nothing but interesting lately. How about yourself?
Dips the sandwich in the beef sauce and things in the yard here keep us very busy. The Diamond City. And as you're looking out the window in the back of his office, you have a weird sense of vertigo. You're not sure why, but you recognize the starfield here, even though you've never been in orbit of this planet before. You're like, I recognize those constellations. Where have I seen them before?
Oh, where have I seen them before?
Why don't you make a history roll? Or no.
No, yes.
No intelligence.
Let's do it.
You saw them when you were inside of Fairy's biological tank. When you were talking with the directorial staff, the board had a scene where you could look up at the night sky.
Right, this is their
planet.
home system.
This is their home system. So you saw it from a point of view as someone who lived here.
He is definitely struck by it, distracted, but does return to it.
Are you okay,
the
sir?
conversation. You've got a beautiful system here, beautiful starscape.
That.
Did you grow up here?
Most of the employees grew up in this system.
Seems that way.
If not from Big K itself.
What about Regrebe over here? My sister actually, she works in system.
On Regrebe, interesting.
The moon specifically there. But,
the Fitzroy project, of course.
Yeah. Yes. I was going to be going to visit her shortly.
I have found that they have asked some very unusual questions of several members of the company in regards to genetic drift, but their aim seems humanitarian and noble.
She was indicating that there were some weather troubles. It was tough to talk to her.
Weather troubles on the moon of Surinir Pretty?
Yeah.
It's a atmosphereless moon.
Right? This is what I'm saying. Have you heard any weird news coming out of the area?
There's been a minimum level of news coming out of Regrebe. That's not too unusual.
Okay.
They're a pretty insular community.
Yeah, you don't have regular, relations with them, trade or
Regrebe
otherwise.
are a backwater.
Okay.
They have chosen not to accept a technological lifestyle.
Well, that's something my people are intimately familiar with. Different strokes, different folks, sir. But, yeah, you don't get
I didn't mean
much
to
of a chance
insult
to
you,
chat.
Dean. It's just
Certainly none fell.
Our corporate policy is to raise humanity to the highest level possible. Regrebe is a throwback to a time of basic chemistry.
I think the thing that Fanana and myself always agree on is improving people's lives is important. The methods and materials involved, maybe we won't always, but I think we will be paddling in the same direction more often than not. And that's why I really enjoy working with y'all.
If it concerns you, I can have a patrol vessel stop by Surinir Pretty.
Well, I on that front, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind. We are heading that way. So if you do happen to have a patrol meander along with us, that would be appreciated.
You'd like an escort?
If it doesn't look like an escort, that might be more ideal. Certainly not trying to raise anybody's hackles, but...
I see. How many ships would you like?
Well, shoot, I don't know a damn thing about this system. Again, I'm just asking because it's a little goofy over there, and I'm going to see some family, so a little bit of backup wouldn't hurt, but yeah.
Will you be going
that's a weird way
in
word it, but...
determination, or via a shuttle, or...
I think we're probably going to head over a little sooner rather than later, but it doesn't sound like you know much about what's going on over there other than I do. And I do certainly miss my sister dearly, so we will likely be heading over a little sooner rather than later.
I think it would not be unusual to send one of our grav cannon cruisers with you. I can dispatch the Red.
Yeah, I think I might appreciate that. I'll be in touch when we decide to hit the gas and head that way.
Understood.
The sandwich is delicious, by the way. I really appreciate you introducing me to it.
It's sloppy for my taste, but I can have our chef send you the recipe.
That'd be fantastic. Anything to expand the repertoire of the ship's cook.
Very good, sir. He stands up and offers to shake your hand.
Quentin reaches out.
Honor to meet you.
Right back at you. Well, maybe we'll be in touch soon.
Very well.
That's back to the ship.
Okay.
While he was gone, I would have been chatting it up with any of the text on the ground. I don't know if I would have yielded anything, but just like, man, this is a dang big space station you got here. What's the rest of the system like? And just keep prying further and further into a group.
Ah, interesting. Make a connect charisma roll.
Don't mind if I do.
we're on a connect spree this session. A skill that I'm not sure we've ever used before.
You don't normally talk to people that you don't know is the thing. Yeah. So one of the lowest ranking techs come forward. He's got gray hair. He looks quite old compared to many of the younger people here. It looks like his job is to be the guy that connects the gas line to the ship to pump the fuel in. He comes over and he says, "Hey, yeah, I know about Grebe. I was actually born there. Got family back home. What do you need to know?"
No, just more curiosities about the system. I mean, you've got this massive space station or shipyard here that y'all seem to keep in immaculate shape.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is I was taught that this is a very old space station, before the Scream and all that. And, people from local planet got up into space with a little help and inspiration, managed to get it working again. There was a bit of the scavenger wars for a while, but locals don't like to talk about that. And it kind of evolved into the corporate system you see today. Back in the day, there were microwave transmitters to send the solar panel energy down onto the planet with modern, what do we call them? Post-tech fusion engines. Plenty of power down on planet. They don't need the solar panels. They're mostly for show now. Backup system just in case anything happens. But yeah.
And when you were, I guess, how long ago did you move from Grebe back over here to the shipyard here?
40 years ago, I'd say.
Oh, dang. And the population on Grebe pretty big?
About 328 million people last time I checked.
Yeah, that feels pretty dang big. All right. I'm just trying to learn about the system, it's all.
There's a lot more people on Grebe than Big K. Big K has only got about 6 million people.
Big K being Coos? Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah.
Big K?
He gestures towards the floor. Because the planet is underneath you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. All right. Well, all right. I guess I was surprised by the, lack of ships in the area, given all the people we thought were there. But hey, you never know. Guess we're thinking of going over and visiting. Anything we should check out? Maybe one of the moons or anything?
Oh, I mean, Capital's lovely this time of year. They've got something called a hot dog festival. It's not very popular in the rest of the system.
Is there like a hot dog eating contest? Some guy named Nate always puts it on.
There used to be this thing called a hot dog, and something called a cow, and beef, and all this stuff. Nowadays, it's just made with synthetic soy protein, but I'm told it tastes like the original. And they just come out and they celebrate. Grebe is a planet that has a lot of celebrating historical accuracy. That actually caused some sort of humanitarian effort to be drawn to the planet. So, tracking genetic drift, I think, from one of the moons. Grebe has lots of different cultures that haven't intermingled genetically, if you understand what I'm saying.
I think I've heard of this. Is this that Fitzroy project thing?
Yeah, Fitzroy project. Yeah, he pats you on the shoulder, like, yeah, that thing.
I read the news every now and then on the way here. What's your take on that project? Good, bad, and different?
Well, Grebe people mostly stick to their. Here at Phenomena Fleet Systems, we have a saying: diversity is strength. That ain't a saying on Grebe.
Huh. I think I know some people that probably would tend to agree with that back where I'm from. Interesting. All right. Well, I guess we'll go give it a visit, check out this Fitzroy project, and anyone you want to say hi to? Anyone you haven't seen in a while?
Oh, yeah. My whole family's in the cap.
Whole family's in the capital. All right. And who are we looking for, and who says hi?
So he gives you his name, which is Carl Peterson. And you're looking for the Peterson family in the capital. You'll know them because they're the only Petersons on the planet.
How is that possible?
Well, it's because most people...
Grandmother's maiden name.
Most people have the name Smith on the planet.
You say most people like 300 million worth, or
It's the most common surname on recruiting.
All right. Well, we'll do, Carl. You know, appreciate you taking the time to talk with me a bit as we're, just waiting.
Sorry,
waiting
I just saw how much you guys are talking on Discord.
I never see those messages when I'm in the middle of a conversation when I need to see them, just so we're clear. And it makes me sad every time.
Sorry. You were saying something and I interrupted you because I was like, holy shit.
I was just trying to wrap it up saying, Carl, appreciate you taking the time to chat with me a bit here as, well, frankly, we're just waiting for this fuel to refill our Golden Goose here, but
you see him walk over and he pulls the ejection lever and goes, I think you're done here.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. We'll be back shortly to pick up, it depends. I have to talk to my captain, actually. We may have but just purchased,
he gives you a wink and he says, should I be telling my supervisor that you're positively inclined towards purchasing a showman?
No, don't ruin our negotiations now here, Carl.
Understood.
Can't reveal our hand.
Mum's the word.
I mean, Quentin just told him, like, oh, we want this damn thing. We want it back.
Yeah, but he's not there.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just correct. Yeah, Quentin's terrible with this.
As the whole crew is reassembling
honestly,
on the ship, we cut to a man seated behind a desk. There is 2 flags behind him. One of them is the planetary flag of Kalanam. The other one is the flag of the old government of Kalanam. His desk has a nameplate that says President. And behind him is the sort of glass window that shows Leda as seen from above. We hear a door slide open, and the president stands and says, well, I have to say, I'm real happy to meet with you, sir. And you hear a ka-tunk, ka-tunk. You can go ahead and take that suit off, and we hear as he comes into view. So I feel like the camera is down behind Carlito Sinistra's booth, and we're getting like a weird angle, and Carlito just says through the speaker on his suit, oh, I have an allergic reaction, but I bought you a present, Mr. President. And the president goes, oh, did you? He says, well, it was a present to me. And we see him pull the knife out. He throws it, and it shatters the glass behind the president. And the president and everything else in the room is sucked out into the atmosphere. And it's basically, he's going to fall to his death, burning up and probably freezing to death long before then. But with his boots locked in place, he sits down at the table and then waits for, the atmosphere to hit 0. He puts his hands behind his head and he says, well, I guess I'm the president now. So let's get down to talking, Missy. So I heard you want to set up an operation here. And we hear the door open again. And more boots coming. And again, we see the boot of a much smaller person from the camera angle. Completely shattered glass behind him. His knife definitely going through... Van-Vee's handcrafted knife definitely going into the lean atmosphere, never to be recovered.
Gone forever. Yeah. One of a kind.
A feminine figure sits down across from him, and you hear the voice of your stepmother say, I've moved a significant portion of our assets and system to begin harvesting materials from salvageable ships, asteroid belts, and anything we can find in system. If you're going to be setting up a more permanent operation here, I'd be delighted to talk about making a deal. And that the scene fades out on, your two best friends sitting.
I was literally going to send her a message to offer her lead-in citizenship and like fake identities.
Well, she already talked about moving operations to Lita.
She did. I think she had said Hald initially, but Quentin's was going to like be like, oh, I mean, like, you know, that was his plan B. Like, oh, you've got a construction company that you're literally transplanting. How about Lita? Like, that was going to be his plan. So it works out. You know, that's cool.
Well, now she's doing it without your permission or knowledge.
Even better or worse.
It's definitely worse.
Yeah.
I know. I'm well aware. This calls it. Yeah, you know what? Hey, entering into a deal with the Trinity Corporate Alliance already put Quentin into a not feeling so great about it, but did what he had to do at the moment vibe. This will make it feel more like that. That's exciting.
I feel like I'm not getting an XP point for that.
Let's talk about XP. According to my notes here, according to my calculations, I will give you work towards talking to Zoe is one. I will not give you any for High-Tech Psionic Academy. I will give you one for working towards Sophie and none towards Find Your Mother. And I'll give you one for working towards convince the crew to use the showman to recover the Hosta. And none for get enough resources. And I'll give you one for working towards acquire the ship. Because you worked towards it even if you didn't do it. That's what that's what heroes do. Short-term goals.
I'm getting pretty close to level 9. I'm getting there.
Day by day.
Wow, what twists.
I
didn't know that we were ever going to do the Asteroid Project storyline. Yeah. I had put it in the dumpster. Alongside the Paladin storyline and the Pope storyline. Now, finally, we've gone to the Galactic South.
And we're looking at a March wrap-up now.
Stop trying to curse us, okay?
I think it should be a compliment. We don't want it to end.
Other shows cannot start until this show ends.
So we can't be selfish.
I like the show a lot. I think it's one of the best shows I've ever done, but I don't want it to go forever.
That's fair.
I feel like I want to do a tight story that tells a particular arc, and we're suiciding towards that arc just very slowly, very, very slowly, moving in the wrong direction constantly.
We do our best.
Eventually, we'll run out of side quests.
Look,
that's not how sandboxes work.
Everywhere we go, we find something that, like, there's a zombie planet. I don't know what to tell you other than I really wanted to, but I knew.
It has nothing to do with that. Heck, I wanted to go hyperboat racing. They just announced it.
Right, exactly.
You're telling me a system that's a sandbox that is designed to constantly entice you to go to different locations entices you to go to different locations?
I love this shit.
That's crazy.
So good.
Listen, we could do this show forever, but again, there are other shows that would never see the light of day because we're all on this show.
Our fun is holding hostages.
How you guys doing this episode? There is a bit more inter-party confliction. I don't want to say conflict.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I mean, this is good. I think in a fun way, right? Because the basic shape of what we want to do is the same, right? It's just a matter of like, what are the risks, what are the rewards, and what's the order?
This is priority. That's what it keeps coming down to. What's the priority?
Yeah, and our priorities are different.
But we've got a couple plays, a couple moves I think we might try next episode. We'll see what happens. And we'll see how this feels. top of also potentially invading a dangerous area and trying to rescue Quentin's only living relative, which is incredibly important to him at this stage.
Yeah. Up until you said Quentin, I was like, oh, he means Scarfy. Oh, no, he doesn't. We have a lot of dangerous places we need to go to rescue.
We do. I mean, Scarfy is Scarfy feels like the final like battle almost to it for us, where going there is like,
I can't tell if it's Scarfy or if it's the Naval Academy.
Yeah, same. It's tough to know which, but I feel like the Naval Academy leads us to our confrontation with the alien AI, which maybe that's the final battle. I don't know.
You know, there's only one way we can see both endings.
Direction.
We have to split the party.
We get the second ship running so we can split the party.
Exactly.
When this campaign's over, I totally don't want to hear you didn't pay to see those cards. I want to see all the cards.
Oh my gosh. I want all the cards, yeah.
Too fun.
What a meme that's become.
I try to drop it in like every other channel though.
I know.
A star so you can fail at the second ending.
Too funny.
Oh boy.
Okay. I want to imagine a world where you go down one of the paths and basically we call that the end. And then we do one more episode where we skip everything and just go to the second ending. But everyone plays a different character. Like everyone moves one to the left. And we do the climax with, I'll tell you what's happening with no context for how you got there.
Oh man.
Just a totally different ship with a totally different crew. And like, oh shit, what's happening?
No, it would still be Quentin, Minerva, and Van-Vee.
Oh, but we don't have to play somebody else's character?
Yes, you would have to play somebody else's character. And you would have no context for how you got there. Just that this was the ending scene.
I feel like, oh man, if I got Quentin, I would blow through all your like special points in like 10 seconds.
Yes, go for it. Go for it.
I'll think about it. That would be wild.
First thing I do is I bamf 1,000 kilometers away, and then I make my force field, and I make my fake gun, and then I'm out of points.
I don't know if anybody else here has watched Stargate Atlantis, but the second to last episode of Stargate Atlantis is CSI Los Angeles, or some shit like that. It has absolutely no connection to any other episode. It's literally just like, I'm a wraith alien who's a criminal, and the main character is a detective. It's not even like this is a parallel world connected via the Stargate or something. It just has no connection to the rest of the show and is the penultimate episode. And I was just like, what the fuck is happening, man?
A bold choice.
The Earth is literally seconds away from being invaded, and we cut from the bridge to CSI? What is happening?
Oh, goodness.
Fucking absolutely wild.
I'm with you though, Dunamis. As soon as this is over, even if I don't get answers to any of my questions, I have so many questions.
We'll definitely do a wrap-up episode.
Can't wait. I also can wait because it is both. It is so much fun.
You know, we've done more than half a year of episodes at this point. I hadn't thought about that until now.
I hadn't thought of that either.
It's been great.
Technically, I should have said that at episode 26, but yeah, here we are.
I really enjoyed Solaris Nights and like what we did there. That was a lot of fun. But I have had a blast actually getting to be like,
Oh, you mean role playing with people other than me?
Right. Like, no, just have the full group, right?
Yeah,
like,
what do you mean? We invited to Kain to like every other episode.
Oh my God.
I invited myself to half of those. Hey, do you mind if I drop in on your episode?
Yeah,
and
we all played off each other like constantly, but now we get to play off each other in the same room, and it's great. Like,
there were a few times when it was like, I don't know, 10 minutes before one of my episodes. I was like, by the way, Kane's joining and we have no purpose.
It's like we're joining. He sent me a message. I have no idea why.
Yeah. I enjoyed our polar bear hunt. I
thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
Just
like, what are you doing here? Just going camping. No biggie.
We're making friends.
Just want to eat up some of your 2 hours with a bit of camping.
Too funny. It's a lot of fun.
I am really curious to see what ends up happening. Like, what's the fallout of our time in the system?
Yeah, I know. We stir pots. That's what we're good at.
The battleship being rushed is directly related to
I thought so.
You guys revealing the duplicity about the quarantine zone.
Right. No, that makes sense.
It's just a deterrent that's good at invading.
I mean, isn't that sort of the thing, though? Like, in order for people to be worried about it and think twice about invading you, it needs to be really good at wrecking their shit. Like,
Mad, mutually assured destruction. I am curious, though, what
we have definitely stirred
AI
some
is
shit.
it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no, just like MINERVA, there's no guarantee that this AI is operating in the open or is even expecting that another AI would
we
notice
have
it.
met on most of the ones that are open in the system, right? We've met Fairy. We have met Minstrel.
Yeah.
Or at least been in the same area. MFH, MINERVA has met. Context is the only one that we've not explicitly met, but is known to just essentially be a scholar of some type, right? Like,
yeah.
Then there's just the
one.
Yeah, which is unknown and is potentially malicious and dangerous.
I wonder if there's like, if Fairy is powerful enough that she can like truly split herself. And she just exists always on the shipyard and then wherever the ship is. I don't know. I don't know enough about AIs to know what they can and can't do, but it'd be really funny.
That's what makes some of this funny, because like in talking about how do we want to approach the planet, what do we want to do? I've read all those rules and it's I am appreciating now that we're potentially looking at making some sort of aggressive action against another AI, how nightmarish AI can choose to be.
Yeah, right. Brenton was straight up. Minerva's the only reason we have a shot right now, right?
Yeah, but there's also like, I don't know. It's a lot more complicated than just that. If you think you're kicking anthills and suddenly a person shows up, you're going to start acting like you need to punch another person. So there's a lot of, and what would be the ultimate funny is we're doing all this thinking, we're doing all this planning, and this AI has nothing to do with what's going on with your sister at all, is completely unaware and is somewhat benevolent. And we're over here like, oh man, how are we gonna like drop pod on the planet and whatever?
That's what I was like, what if it's just Fairy and it's just like, all you have to do is say hi and let it know it's you.
I mean, I did point out there's a major phenomena presence here.
Mm-hmm. But they don't know what's happening with the system. So Quentin went and had that conversation. Yeah.
Interestingly,
I mean,
you didn't tell
know.
them that there is an AI operating.
As far as Quentin knows, and he's following the recommendation from MINERVA, that, you know,
we didn't want to say that
be dangerous, privileged out loud. They would know even more. But I mean, I guess also, it doesn't help. Yeah.
I mean, there's also the
he's bad at this.
Knowing that an AI operating covertly really can only be found by another AI.
Yeah, that's the other aspect. That's very fair.
Could be above.
Although Fanana knows that MINERVA exists, he doesn't know what the director knows. Yeah, that's the game lately. There's so much that I have trouble keeping track of which thing the person I'm talking to does know that they
who knows what, who should know what.
Yeah. What secret am I keeping from whom?
This is the problem with lying, you know? You just
that's
lie and you lie and
it's beautiful.
Well, friends, any closing thoughts?
I'm a little bummed that we should be able to meet next week, but then potentially not meet 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I'm going to forget everything. My memory's so bad. Poor Carl Peterson. You know, I'm totally going to forget this. I had his family too. Poor guy.
Did you write it down on your card?
It is sitting right in front of me. And I'm going to come back next time and be like, what should my goal be?
I mean, with your history with your cards, I give it a 50-50. But at least you wrote it down, so there is a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
50% of the time, every time?
Mojen.
Mojen. That's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Long time.
All right, friends. We will be back next week, and then we'll be out for 4 weeks. Wow. I guess I'll have to make next time some sort of...
Oh my God, 4 weeks, you're right.
Yeah, because we'll be out for 3, and then we'll be back on the 4th. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how time works. I was listening to Dungeons and Daddies, and Anthony went, so the Lance brought 3 through 13, so he brought 10 people with him, and I was like, that's not 10 people, that's 11 people. It'd be 3 through 12 if it was 10 people, Anthony. You forgot to -1.
I know exactly where you are now, too.
I'm on Fender Glender.
This sucks. I almost want to go back and listen to season 1. I'm not even done with season 2. Oh, well.
I want to get rid of Ron Stampler from my life and then never encounter him again. I have to be honest. All right, friends. Mid-season dramatic finale next episode. Thankfully, you guys have wandered into some sort of AI problem, which will make for an excellent mid-season finale.
Yeah.
It'll probably just end on MINERVA sky dropping in her suit, you know, AI flak coming up. They'll just it'll be exactly like Starship Troopers. There'll be dozens of drop pods, but all of them will be fake and only the real drop pod is in danger. See, if you're wondering what happens in Starship Troopers the book instead of the movie, that's what happens. Is they're like, yeah, we released like 40 drop pods for every one trooper so that the bug shoot at all those. Let's go into a detailed military tactical description of it. The movie? If you disable his hand, he cannot press the button. I tell you, I love
That's such
both
a great
of them.
scene.
I love both of them, but they are not related.
No, they're really not.
Oh my God.
All right. We'll be back next time in 1 week. Have a good time, zone friends.